Okay, I'm back in the sewing room and I wanted to show you another quick pot holder. And I have my material. This was actually a scrap piece of material, which is going to work out very good for me. I need two 7x7 pieces. So I've ironed this already and I'm measuring to cut off the raw edges, and I'll throw those away. Or not even the raw edges, but the uneven edges. And then it's kind of hard to cut this way. There, just go slow. Now I am going to cut this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I always count twice, measure twice, because if you don't and you mess up your material, you've messed it up. The rule of thumb: measure twice, cut once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, okay. This is just a simple, easy project, and this is the Cubs material. I'm making this for a friend, and he also likes bears. So I'm going to make those, and that's how I'm going to show you. I have bears already done, and I'll take you kind of step by step. I'm going to cut this piece as well because I want to have a little handle, a little hanger, and that's what this material is for. And let's see, I'm going to make this a little longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's a 5-inch and I fold it, that looks good. And this is my own quote-unquote pattern. I don't have a pattern. I just make it. Okay, so I have my pieces cut, and I've shown you how to cut them, and I'll bring you back. Well, actually, you know what? Why don't we just move the camera right over here. I'll put you right there, and I hope you can see everything. Now, the project that I'm making is this pot holder here, and I'm going to show you how I did it. After you cut your material, now what I like to do, because this material has words and has something specific, I want it to go in the right direction. Such as this here. When it hangs, I want the Chicago Bears to be seen instead of it being upside down. Okay? So you want to watch for that. So when I do this, I want right sides together. Make sure that they're both facing the right direction. And I am going to pin this. But before I can do this, I'm going to sew this together. And I'll show you how I flip this. I'm just going to show you, just going to sew it right now real quick. And I always backstitch to make that quote-unquote knot. Okay. And I backstitched up at top and at the bottom, if you didn't notice that. And then I cut off the strings just because they're kind of a nuisance. Now I'm going to take my pin, which is sticking to the bottom of my magnetic pin holder. I'm going to put the pin on just one side of this, and then I'm going to start working it in. Move the machine out. Just start working that inside. And this one here is easier than the other one I made. You can feed it through with your finger, and then grab that pin, and you want to pull your pin through. It's a little tedious. Where is it? There it is. And I only have small pins. I wish I had bigger pins. Safety pins. Okay, and then you pull your pin and you work your material. And there might be an easier way to do this. There. There. And then you take your pin off, and then your iron. Let's get this over here. Okay. And this is going to be the handle. Okay, so it's not a big deal as to what you're going to see on it. And when you use your handle, now this is a tricky part too. I want this to be up top. Okay, I want my handle to be up top as well. So you need to pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, both of my pieces are facing the right direction. So this is going to be the top right here. What I'm going to do is take my handle and put it in here. Just like that. And then pin it. So it'll stay in place. I'm going to pin it around, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew it all the way up this way. I'm going to sew this all the way through. So I'm sewing the top, and the bottom is going to be the part that I'm not going to fully sew. So I can turn it to the right side, and I'll show you that when everything is sewn. Okay, I've sewn everything together, and as I'm looking at it, as I'm sewing, I'm thinking, gosh, I hope this is going to come out right. Here is the handle, and when you're sewing, you want to make sure too that you don't sew the handle down. As I'm going over it, I'm thinking, uh-oh, I might have sewn it down. I left this little space here open, okay? I sewed a little bit here and a little bit there. So now I'm going to flip it. And I think I did it right. There's the handle. Good, I did not sew it to the side. I was afraid I was doing that. You can kind of feel your material though. So just feel it as you're going. And another handy tool that I have, I don't have it out, it's a little thread breaker. Let me show you. It's in my drawer here. This is a great little tool here because it will take apart what you've put together. It could also ruin your material, so you have to be very careful when you use this. And then the other end here is to clean my machine. So, there, looks pretty good, right? But it's not done. I need to sew here, but before I do, I need to put in my batting. This is going to be a pot holder, so I have some batting here. And I have heard from different people that you could just use regular batting, or they do have a special batting that you can put in here. And it has like a tinfoil-y type backing. Let me grab that. I've heard from other people that you do not have to use just that. Oh, here it is. You can use regular batting. I've put regular batting in ones that I'm using, and it seems to work just fine. Okay, this here is the material that I bought when I thought I needed to. So it's up to you what you choose. And I don't remember, I'm sorry, I don't remember what this is called. But if you go to a fabric store, they'll be able to tell you. Okay, and you can you hear that? It's crinkly, where this here isn't. So, anyway, I am going to cut this a little bit. These squares were 7 inches, 7 by 7, and I cut my batting that way as well. I don't need that much because once I sewed it, it kind of took away. I'm gonna do it that way. Okay, it took away some of my inch, so we're gonna just put this right in there. And this is actually a very easy way to make a pot holder. I'm gonna make sure. Yep. There. And the smaller your opening is, the more difficult it is to get your batting in. So you want to remember that as well. But it seems to work a little bit better when I have sewed on both ends. I should have just not sewn as much over here. Okay, so I'm gonna work this in, and then I'm gonna sew the bottom. And what I do to make it look even all the way around is I sew all the way around. I'll show you with what I did over here. I sew the entire project. Okay, the whole pot holder gets sewed, but I start at this opening down here. And I just want to make sure my batting is flat. So just push it up. And when you sew around, you want to make sure you're sewing your batting as well. Having a hard time with this one. Okay. It's not wanting to lay flat for me. There. Okay, now it's laying flat. It's sticking out a little. Okay. I'm going to have to cut a little bit of this. Just going to cut a tad bit off because I think it's a little bit too long. And you can see it wasn't a perfect cut. And that's a good thing about simple projects. Nobody's going to see the inside batting, but you do want it to kind of lay flat. Okay. Cut off a wee bit more, and that'll go in the trash. And then you fold your material down, and then you're going to sew. It's really, there. I'm going to iron it down. It's always easier to iron it because it keeps it down flatter for you. Now, I am going to have to sew right on the edge. So I'm probably going to have to do a double stitch down here. I'll just sew around it twice. Okay, I will bring you back when the project is done. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm almost done, and I wanted to show you, I put my presser foot right on the first sew line, this end part of the presser foot, right on that line, and sewed all the way around, and it looks like all of the batting has been touched and sewn down. Finish. Coming to the end. Just try to go a little slowly. I'm going to back up. And okay. And while I was sewing this, I ended up running out of bobbin. So I had to sew this part over again. Alright. This is a simple, easy project. You just cut your material and sew. The hardest part is, like I said, getting that material inside. So make sure you have a big enough hole on the bottom, or wherever you choose, on the side, whatever. But cutting off all the strings, there we go. That's not bad, huh? Yeah. I'll make 2 of these, and I'll make 2 of these. And this one here, I put the handle on the corner. I decided I wasn't really thrilled with it like that. I will make the other bears one like this, but these 2 cub ones will be like that. There. Alright, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.